Record. Okay. Again, welcome back. Here we have Youssef Mouzahem, Senior Associate Director, Commercial and Contracts with Jacobs with us. A little bit bio introduction to his work experience. Youssef is a seasoned project and contract management expert with over 15 years managing multi-million-dollar projects across oil and gas infrastructure and power generation worldwide. And Youssef has got a wide range of credentials, PMP, PEng, Masters in Project Management from UCLA, and currently serving on the Global Advisory Board of World Commerce and Contracting. And his unique journey from field engineer to a strategic commercial leader gives him rare insight into both the technical and business side of the project delivery. And today, he will share how emerging technology are transforming project management. And please welcome Youssef Mouzahem. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Dr. Zadeh, for the introduction. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone from wherever you're joining from, and welcome to today's presentation on transforming project management through emerging technologies. And I'm giving that from a commercial and contract leadership perspective. In the next 45 to 50 minutes, I'll be sharing insights from my career portfolio, focusing on 3 major case studies that demonstrate how emerging technologies can transform project planning, execution, monitoring, and commercial management. So the agenda for today, we will have 4 main parts. So we will start by talking about the case studies. As I mentioned, there is 3 successful implementations from my prior experience that we can share. Then we will talk about the technology integration, and we will explore how to integrate AI and digital tools into the established project management processes. Then we will move to leadership approaches, where we can explore how the leadership styles, and how we will discuss the balance between technology and human leadership, which will always be important and at this heart of anything we do in terms of project management. Then we will move into the implementation, and we will provide some practical actionable strategies for adopting emerging technologies, and some guidance on maintaining focus on sustainability and ethical collaboration. And at the end of this session, there will be 10 to 15 minutes Q&A session, so please feel free to take note, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have in the end. So moving on, I will start with a quick introduction on the digital transformation and what exactly it is and what phases does it hit on the project. So not surprisingly, this happens across all phases of the project, and not a surprise again that it starts with project planning, where AI-powered forecasting is enabling more accurate resource allocation, which is one of the major problems that most project managers face. Machine learning algorithms are identifying potential risks now before they materialize. That's another aspect to it. And digital tools are actually optimizing schedules and resource distribution, so not only the allocation of the resources. Moving to project execution, so real-time collaboration tools are connecting distributed teams, as well that workflows now are being more automated, and that is reducing the manual processes and all the human errors. Then digital documentation is also improving accessibility and version control for all the execution phases. Moving to project monitoring, where now using internet and Internet of Things and digital tools are providing real-time data from construction sites and facilities, Predictive analytics dashboards are forecasting issues before they impact schedules. And we all know how project monitoring and control is essential in any project, because that's your radar in the project. So that's why those technology tools are addressing the major issues that any project manager can face. In the end, we have commercial management, where the automated contract tracking is ensuring compliance and reducing disputes. And disputes are one of the major concerns for any project manager once things are escalated, because there is no resolution on the spot for all the disputes, and then it goes beyond the authority of the project team. More importantly, change order management systems are capturing all variations also with the proper documentation. So change is not something we can avoid. However, how we control that and how we manage it is what matters. And this is where technology is playing a crucial part today. Revenue forecasting tools, if we continue talking about commercial management, are also improving cash flow management. So I'm sharing here a radar chart that shows how digital transformation significantly improves all aspects of project performance compared to traditional approaches. And you can see the one in the middle, which is the gray radar, compared to the red one, where we are using now the digital tools in project management, and that is being addressed for like cost savings, the decision making, the quality, and all the other aspects of the project, and increasing efficiency. So we will come to more examples on that to explain this. So I just wanted to start with the theory and what technology is helping actually, and AI, how AI is helping in all those project phases and in the commercial aspects to that. So before we move further, I would like to maybe share with the audience, there's no right or wrong answer to this, but this is just to understand your biggest challenges in adopting new technologies in project management. So you can either scan the QR code or just go to slido.com on your browser. No username or password are needed. You can just, if you join from the web, you can use the number you can see here, the number of the survey. And so this will just help me understand the challenges that you have whether in your workplace, university, can be any work environment, or in your corporate. And of course, the more participation. Thank you for all these answers. Yeah, that's great. I like it that the first one we're looking at is the team resistance to change. That's still being the dominant. So I'll give it another minute or two. Thank you all for participating. I don't know, Dr. Zadi, how many people are online already, but I can see 12 participants so far, which is okay. I mean, if that number is, you feel that. So anyway, as we can see, the majority voted for team resistance to change, and that's no surprise. We as humans, I think, we are reluctant to change, and AI now and all these digital tools are no surprise. Okay, I see still more votes coming, but I think still the resistance to change dominates the vote. Perfect. Thank you all. Thank you all for participating. I really appreciate it. Okay, so as I promised, I will walk you through actually 3 case studies from my previous experience. For confidentiality reasons and the client privilege, sorry, can you still hear me?
Yes, we can see you, but we can't see your presentation slides now. Can you reshare it again?
Oh, sorry, my apologies. I think something
no problem
over here. Just 1 second. Let me see. Sorry about that. I think something happened with the power. Sorry, I'm sharing again. Let me know once you see it.
Yes, we can see that.
Sorry, my apologies. Okay.
No problem.
All right.
Someone in the chat said, I believe this is a power outage nationally there.
Oh, here you go. So I have some companions here with me. All right. So yeah, something happened, but now it's back. So I hope this will be a temporary thing. All right. So you still can see the screen then. Perfect. Okay. So as I said, let me walk you through the those case studies. And as I was saying, I don't know if you heard me before the power outage happened, is some of the, like, for client privilege and client confidentiality, some of the names are not mentioned in those case studies, but those are actual case studies from previous projects. So all the data is allowed to share, and it is valid as it is. But when there are names that they were just removed. Anyway, so the first case study I want to share with you is it was on one of the First Nations projects, and it was a digital maintenance management system for water and wastewater system facilities on the First Nation land. And what happened was that so the challenge was that that community was facing significant inefficiencies in their maintenance management processes. So what was happening is that all these facilities were built in the communities, but the shortfall was about the continuous operation and maintenance. That was the biggest issue. So like manual inspection schedules, paper-based reporting, and disconnected systems were actually leading to increased costs, delays in identifying maintenance issues, and difficulty in difficulties in tracking asset performance over time. So for critical infrastructure projects, these inefficiencies were impacting both project timelines and budgets, and not only project, and also affecting the communities and we all know the issues with water in general in most of the First Nation communities across Canada. And so we started to think about a new approach on addressing the operation and maintenance issues for those communities. So the solution, we designed a digital maintenance management system, and I will come to the details in a minute, that digitized the entire maintenance workflow. So this system actually integrated digital sensors for real-time condition monitoring, automated maintenance schedule based on actual usage rather than calendar dates, and provided mobile access for field technicians, which actually was a life changer, like a game changer for the community. So what was the implementation approach? So we started by doing a thorough assessment of the existing workflows and identifying all the pain points and inefficiencies. So this included shadowing maintenance teams and analyzing historical maintenance data. The next one was the custom system development. So it's not like we found just an off-the-shelf solution and we just presented it to the community. So this is not like a Microsoft Excel where you just bring it and download it somewhere and then here you go, you can live with it. No, we worked on a custom-made developed solution that take the data directly from the stakeholders at all levels. So this ensured the system addressed specific needs and integrated with existing enterprise systems and all the facilities. Next, we moved to the integration, where we installed all the So IoT stands for Internet of Things sensors on critical equipment to enable real-time monitoring of performance parameters. So those equipment, you need some parameters, and there is hundreds of them where manually it becomes almost mission impossible to follow all that. We had all that on one screen where the operator can see the deficiencies and then decide the appropriate maintenance approach. Then the last phase was the rollout. So what we did is we had a phased rollout. So it wasn't like, again, one shock for everything. So we started with the non-critical assets and gradually expanded to more critical systems. So, and then we provided comprehensive training at each phase. So what happened actually is that the operators felt more engaged and actually gradually absorb that knowledge to address the issues. So what were the key outcomes? So we can start with, of course, the reduction in the overall maintenance cost. So we achieved 24% reduction in maintenance cost, and that's significant. And that was on the first phase of the implementation of the digital system. The other one was 35% decrease in equipment downtime due to predictive maintenance capabilities, because now the operators have their hands on all the equipment parameters, as I said, and they can look on live parameters on their screens. Improved asset lifecycle management. So we can imagine now, due to less downtime and less maintenance, so now you have long life for the equipment. And last but not least is the enhanced compliance reporting capabilities with automated documentation. So I would like to share this chart with you that shows before and after comparison across key metrics. And we know the before because we started with the assessment of the existing systems, and then we have the after. And you can note that maintenance time and system downtime were both reduced by over 35%, while compliance rates improved from 75% to 93%. And 75%, by the way, was in the best case. There was times where the compliance rates were even below 50%. So this case demonstrates how digital transformation can deliver measurable value in traditional infrastructure environments, not just in high-tech industries, it's across industries. And this is just a traditional water and wastewater facility in one northern community. So let's move to the next case study. So this one is from a marine project. And actually, I picked 3 different projects from 3 different fields. So just again, to prove the point about the importance and how effective project management becomes using digital tools. So this in this project, we actually initiated an automated contract control system. And this system actually significantly improved the project revenue management throughout the project. So now we're not talking about the operation and maintenance, we're talking about the project itself. So what was the challenge? The challenge was that our company was managing multiple large-scale infrastructure projects simultaneously. So what happened, we lacked integrated visibility into the commercial performance across projects. So revenue recognition was often delayed, or change orders were processed manually with significant delays. And there was limited real-time insight into project profitability. So the senior management would only receive reporting like later in the project lifetime, where sometimes it's too late to act upon it. So this made it difficult to make informed commercial decisions, of course, and optimize resource allocation across the portfolio. So what we did, the solution was we implemented an integrated commercial control system that provided real-time visibility into project financials, automated the change order processing, and enabled predictive revenue forecasting. Now, this might seem very complicated for a solution for one project. So first of all, this was implemented in one project, but then was used for later projects. Not only that, this can always be a custom-made system, so you can optimize that depending on your project size and project needs and your client needs as well. So the system also integrated with the existing systems and provided executive dashboard. And we will come to this point later today in this session to explain how important the integration with existing systems is when you apply digital tools. So how did we implement that? So what was the approach for the implementation? So we started with the commercial process mapping. So we mapped all existing commercial and contract processes and the workflows and with all types to identify the opportunities. Later on, we worked on the system integration, and we created this automated change order tracking and approvals. So that also reduced the time of processing and approval significantly, as I will explain in a minute now. You can imagine even with using emails, so we know how delayed emails get into when you go into the CC and who's copied on what, and senior management or approvers would receive hundreds of emails. So now you have that in an integrated system that makes the decision-making easier. The other thing is the integration with the financial project systems, as I explained, so that that makes it even a smoother transition. Later on, we have the real-time dashboard for the commercial performance. So now, not only that, so for executives, they will have a real-time project exposure where they can log in at any minute and then look at what's happening today, not in terms of progress, in terms where the project stands financially, commercially, contractually, and in terms even of scope and the revenue. So that was, again, another benefit to that. So speaking about numbers, because it's all about numbers in the end, and to prove your case, you need numbers to explain that. So let's start with the, okay, so I think we talked about that, the key system features, the automated milestone. Oh, so that's an important thing. So the milestone tracking and invoicing, that was another achievement of the system. And so what happened is, using some simple tools, we created some sort of alerts on that like pop-up messages that can, for the project manager to see on their screens when there is some milestone. So on different phases of the milestone. So when you have like 30 days until certain milestone, you have one alert, and then 15. So it can give you the chance to revise your plans and then adjust accordingly. The predictive analytics for revenue forecasting as well, that was a crucial one. And the early warning system for the commercial risks. And again, when maybe I should move to this chart here, where you can see that you can see how before the implementation and after the implementation, I mean, how the performance changed in terms of the project revenue, for example, index, which was one of the things. And actually, this is generally what your senior management would more worry about, is the revenue index. So you can see the fluctuation before the implementation in white, in the white line, where you can show that it was going up and down. So it depends on the approvals and the processes, the internal decision making. While now, after the implementation of this, you can see the line just going up and creating a clearer view on the project revenue. All right, moving on to the last case study. I hope this is not long, but I found those examples very relevant to what we're talking about. This is a power generation plant project where we implemented a project management information system. And no doubt that information and documentation are crucial thing in any project. So never underestimate the importance of documentation, even if it's a note or an email, everything is important. So as we did before, so let's start with the challenge. So the challenge was that we were working on a complex industrial automation project, which is this power generation plant, and scope changes were very frequent. And some of you may know, because in this type of project, there's always many changes due to technologies and due to client needs and budgeting, sometimes client budgets. So there will be a lot of changes. And most of these changes often would be disrupted or neglected, or even they will result in scope creep. So the existing documentation systems were fragmented, making it difficult to track scope evolution and also to justify change orders and maintain clear audit trails. So that led actually to disputes with clients and significant revenue leakage from uncompensated scope changes. Because you can imagine, you can't wait on your project execution because you have some pending change, then you continue, but over time, actually, your project is just leaking. So what was the solution? So we developed a specialized project management information system that provided comprehensive documentation management and automated change tracking and integrated commercial impact assessment. So there was 3 components to that. So the system used AI to identify potential scope changes from project communications and automatically generated change order documentation. So you would receive an email from your client saying, we need to do this and to do that, and whatever. So that will be plugged into the system. It was integrated with the email system anyway, and the system will just identify some risk of scope change or scope creep from that email. So it can be wrong. I'm not saying this is just the correct one, but it will trigger some conversation. It will trigger something for the project manager to think about before they agree or disagree with the client. So what was the implementation approach for that? So we started by the digital documentation of all project changes. So that's important. And I'm talking here about a project where I was just starting. So actually there was a lot of like papers and PDF and so lots of things. So we unified all that in one system so it can be used because standardization documentation is important to get the right results from any system that you would implement. Then we worked on automated impact analysis workflows. So what I mean by that is the workflow will be when one of your project team members or a client or any stakeholder would initiate something through the system, and then this will take workflow. So in that process, there will be some, again, alerts or trigger points where the system will identify some risk or some change. And then this will warn the project manager that a process should be done. Then we moved on to the integration with BIM and scheduling tools. So it's building integration management and scheduling tools. So designers now, they have that tool as well to help them identify changes when clients come back with feedback. So this will help identify changes on time. And the last one was the AI-assisted change order. So that actually was kind of a revolutionary thing because now you have change orders that are controlled, and kind of you have better exposure on them using AI. So let's talk about results. So the first one was, so we have $19 million in successful change orders. And just to give you a context on that, Out of the $19 million change orders, there was only $5 million that were clear change orders coming from the client. The rest was identified by the information system that I talked about, because it was triggering things that even a smallest word in an email can trigger something in the contract, and that led to some conversation with the client. So again, I'm talking here from the contractor side. So that's good news for any contractor that we have bigger change orders, and that's justified. So this is not something that you're tricking your client. No, but this is just fair and justified change orders, but it's a lost opportunity for you as a contractor if you were not implementing the appropriate system. And of course, we have 78% approval rate, up from 36%, because now you have the workflows automated, and you will keep receiving pop-up messages on your system until you approve or disapprove the workflow that can continue then to the next level until it gets fully approved and then going to execution. The other thing was, so let me maybe talk about what types of change orders want. So we have schedule extension, that's around 5.2 million. And then we have scope modifications, around $8.7 million. And then site condition changes, $5.1 million. So that adds up to almost $19 million in approved change orders from a project that was budgeted at $400 million. It's a power generation plant, as I explained. So to make things more visual, you can see here the chart that is showing the before the system and after the system in terms of the change orders, approval, and how many change orders submitted. So you can see to the left, like, so before the system, the change orders submitted were around 40, and then the approval rate was like, so the approval was probably around 15 or 14, and then after the implementation of the system, there was more change orders submitted, and of course, way more change orders. All right, so let's break the boring case studies into another survey that I would like the participants to share. Just from your, again, experience, from your work environment, your university or school. So which technology will have the biggest impact on project management in the next 5 years? So what do you think? So this can be just from something you read, some research, some studies. So we have artificial intelligence and machine learning. We have Internet of Things. We have augmented virtual reality, blockchain and smart contracts, or robotics and automation. So yeah, please take a minute or two. This is also important for us to understand what the trends are and where do we as project managers or students or professionals see the world is going to in the next 5 years. That's no surprise until now, 100% for the AI and machine learning. Actually, when I was preparing this survey and I was looking at the virtual reality, and it looked very old-fashioned now compared to what we have today. And but it is still there, of course. But I know AI is using also virtual reality, so it's kind of a combination of all that. All right, so the majority is still talking about AI and machine learning. That's great. Okay, so thank you for, some people are still participating. That's great. Well, I can see, yes, robotics, virtual reality already sitting in the bottom, and I don't see that changing. Maybe they will vanish in the next, 5 years. All right, so let's move on. So let's talk about the how to integrate AI and digital tools. So I think we talked about some case studies and the benefits of the system that we implemented in previous projects. So now let's discuss practical strategies for integrating these technologies into your existing project management frameworks. So let's talk about starting simple and easy. Start with pilot projects to demonstrate value and build confidence. So remember, in our first survey, the majority of you agreed that the resistance to change is a blocker for any implementation for new digital or AI tool or whatever. So to show the value, start with some pilot projects. Start with a simple project that can show your senior management or the people who are resisting to that change the value of the system that you are proposing or the AI tool. So because then you can focus on areas where you have good data and clear success metrics, right? So that will also show the difference between before and after, like we did, for example, in those case studies that I shared with you earlier. The second one is enhancing project control. So technology should augment, not replace, existing project control processes. And this is very important. And please listen to this carefully. Please don't think about replacing existing systems right away. That's a failure. So that's a proven science, and try not to do it when you can. Try to increase the efficiency of the existing system by using it, because the goal is to provide project managers with better information for decision making, not to automate all decisions. So, because we'll come to this later about the human factor in project management, that's not something that we can forget about. Real-time dashboards and automated alerts can also help project managers focus on exceptions rather than routine monitoring. The third one I would talk about is cross-functional teams. So successful technology integration requires teams that combine domain expertise with technical skills. So project managers are not data scientists, right? But we can ensure that they understand how to interpret and act on technology-generated insights. So that's the importance of the cross-functional teams. So consider creating, let's say, hybrid roles that bridge traditional project management and digital capabilities. So that will help you have one team that have different perspectives on the solutions. Last but not least, it is not only systems, but also people. So let's maybe talk about that more, because now the most sophisticated technology will fail if people don't adopt it. So if you do not overcome the resistance to change, anything you introduce will fail. So that's like, so you should get the buy-in from not only your senior management, but also from your team members, from everyone you're working, from your stakeholders, into the buy-in into the new system or the new technology that you're introducing. And our experience just simply shows that user adoption is the biggest predictor of technology project success. You can imagine of any tech solution that if there's no customers to use it, then it goes. So let me share this chart here, as you can see. So where you can see like how the potential AI integration level can increase your monitoring, execution, planning, and reporting from the current AI integration level. So we have two levels where now you have the implementation is different, because now you started slowly and gradually, and you get to better results than just replacing everything, and you will not get what you need to. All right, so how do we enhance project control through technology? Because that's, I think, one of the, I don't want to use the word nightmare, but it is a concern for every project manager on how to monitor and control the project. So let's start by scheduling, which is probably the most annoying part for any project manager. So actually using AI-powered tools is reducing scheduling conflicts by up to 35%. And that's through, again, as I mentioned, for the case studies that I have, and also there's a lot of research you can find online about that. Critical path analysis now includes automated schedule risk assessment, which can help project managers managing risks. The machine learning algorithm can predict potential delays before they occur. The other part is the cost management. So now you have real-time cost tracking, which provides you with immediate visibility into budget performance. You will have predictive analytics that can forecast cost overruns weeks or months in advance. And that's an important tool because it can show you the trend where your project is going, and then you can act accordingly. The various analysis is also automated. So now project managers can free more time to have for strategic decisions rather than thinking about the day-to-day or hour-to-hour variances. The next part is the change management. And maybe you've noticed that I've talked about change management a lot today, because change management is sometimes a killer for any project, and it can be a huge success for the project. So it has two-folded side. So automated impact assessment tools evaluate schedule and cost implications instantly. And digital approval workflows reduce change order processing time by 65%. So that's on average, according to studies from many projects, where now all these digital workflows can just make it very efficient for all the approvals. And of course, full traceability to ensure all changes are properly documented and authorized. Performance monitoring, which is related to resources and also to the other KPIs on the project. So now you have customizable KPI dashboards to allow executives to monitor what matters most. So you can design that the way you, excuse me, the way you want, so you can present to your executives, and they can have real-time access to that. Again, I'm a fan of charts, so apologies if you see more charts, but this explains how technology enhanced project control significantly outperform traditional methods across all key metrics. And as you can see here, for example, the decision speed, the cost accuracy, the schedule adherence. So, I mean, there is no comparison. You can see, and actually you can see how much we're losing by not using AI tools and digital tools into our project management processes. All right, so this is something I would like to talk about, because I started talking about it a while ago about the cross-functional teams. I just wanted to elaborate more on it so you can have an idea on what it means. So developing cross-functional teams equipped to leverage technological innovations requires a strategic approach to team composition and skill development. So let's start by the team composition. So you will need project managers with digital transformation expertise. So again, not maybe super experts, but at least some knowledge on digital capabilities. And that doesn't mean that everyone needs to be a technical expert, but the team should include members who can bridge the gap between business requirements, technical solutions. So you can, consider roles like digital project coordinator or technology integration specialist, maybe, right? So that's something that you can also focus on and add to your team. So this will enhance your processes. That we talked about that, technology integration experts and domain specialists with technical aptitude. So even in traditional project management, a project manager is not expected to have the full knowledge about every aspect in the project, especially when we talk about mega projects. And so you will have experts and you have SMEs for different disciplines to help you in decision making and also to address changes and on all the aspects of the project. So the same applies for digital tools and for AI as well. You need that expertise within your team. So you have to focus on developing digital literacy across the team rather than trying to create technical experts. So that's very important. No one is not trainable. So let's remember that. So it's always, you need to understand that what's possible with technology and how to use that and use the training in a different way with different team members to have the overall experience. So invest in training programs that focus on practical application rather than just technical theories, or bringing high-tech experts to your team. So yeah, we talked about continuous learning programs and also the cross-training between technical and project teams. So this is also important to have some sort of training, even like on a high level, to different team members where people can start to have their hands on. So then you have someone who has deep experience on some part, but then they have high level knowledge of the other part. So that will have a bigger picture of the experience for the project team. Also consider mentorship programs. So pairing tech experts with PM professionals. So that also will be another added value to your project. So, sorry. So this is a chart just to show you how the, so when we say traditional teams, so traditional teams, there means that there is a project manager. You have maybe a mechanical engineer. If we talk about construction, then you have someone who's doing drafting and someone. So versus cross-functional teams, now you have some sort of combined knowledge for team members, and that can be used to enhance efficiencies in the project team performance. So that's something you may consider as well. As you can see here, between digital collaboration, system integration, there is many areas where you can have cross-functional teams to help you success in your project. All right, so this is the part that, as I mentioned in the beginning, and maybe throughout this session today, we talked a lot about human leadership and how to balance technology with human leadership. And finding the right balance is important. And let's find out how we can do that. So let's identify the processes that are suitable for automation while preserving human decision-making for complex situations. And that's important. So what AI is doing is just making the process of decision-making for simple decisions simpler and easier and faster, rather than wasting time on both complex and easy decisions. So this will help project managers in that. So the routine tasks like data collection, reporting, and basic analysis can be automated now, so don't need to waste more time on it. And then you can reserve human judgment for stakeholder management, conflict resolution, negotiations. That's where we need humans heavily, because that cannot be replaced. AI can help you, but it will not replace you in those areas. Team management. So again, maintain meaningful human connections and team cohesion. So that's also important. So while leveraging digital collaboration tools, we need to maintain that human connection with our teams and with our stakeholders. Virtual team building activities become more important with distributed teams. So now we have teams working across continents, and meeting physically is becoming more important. More difficult. It's not impossible, but it's difficult and costly sometimes. But then you need more activities virtually to enhance that. And at the same time, regular face-to-face meetings, even if it's virtual. So keep your camera on when you talk to somebody. That's essential for building trust. And that's, again, another proven science in team management. The emotional intelligence, so complement data-driven decision-making with emotional intelligence. So now technology can provide the what, but leaders must provide the why and how. So that's also important to understand. AI can tell you maybe what to do with something, but then the how and why, you need your human skills to understand. Also stakeholders' concerns and organizational politics. Those remain a human skill. That's not change here. Talking about leadership strategies here. So we have several types of leadership here. So we have the adaptive leadership, where you develop flexibility to shift between technology and people. So that now you're adapting to the technologies while maintaining the human connection. We have to think about ethical guardrails. So ethics exist in every aspect of our life, and AI is no difference. we have always to remember that we need to establish clear boundaries for technology use and maintain a human accountability. We can't blame AI now for any decision. We need to take accountability of our own decision. So I'm sharing this chart that demonstrates like why technology only approach excels in efficiency, but balanced leadership approach delivers better overall outcomes, particularly in team collaboration, stakeholder trust, and decision quality. And the chart actually speaks to itself. And I would like to use a quote here by Jim Rohn, who suggests that leadership requires balance in all aspects. Technology is just one more dimension where finding the right balance is essential. So that's not replaceable. All right, one more survey, and I promise it to be the last one. I hope you're enjoying surveys, but this one is just also to understand from the audience. So what is the current level of digitization in your project management processes? So again, this can be in your school, in your company, even if you're for government, anywhere if you have your hands on project management processes. So what is the current level of digital? So are you in the initial stage? So just paper-based with some digital tools? Are you developing like a mix of digital and manual processes? Is it well established now? So you have like integrated systems, advanced or leading edge, which like AI enabled. And so anyway, I mean, please take a minute or two to let me know where you stand currently in your processes.
We just have 9 more minutes.
9, sure. I'm almost.
That is for also Q&A.
Absolutely. Oh, okay. Yeah, almost done. All right, so let's move on then. Thank you all for contributing to this. But yes, developing, that's definitely the expected range because now everything is just being developed. And all right, so we talked about the resistance to change and how to address that. And we know that, so the common type of resistance, so just for the sake of time, the fear of the unknown, uncertainty about how new technologies will affect roles, responsibilities, and job security. This is a major concern. The learning curve concerns, worry about the time and effort required to learn something new, which is again natural. Loss of control, so perception that automation and AI will reduce human agency and decision-making authority, and that's not true to the best part. And past failures. So of course we all have experiences and maybe we have failures. Of course, anyone have some sort of failure, but then this will negatively affect any new integrate or any new attempt to integrate new systems and the new so the effective strategies to do that, so involve stakeholders early in technology selection, as we said. So always start gradually and early in the process. Provide comprehensive training with ongoing support resources. We talked about that during our team collaboration and team establishing. Celebrate early wins and showcase tangible benefits. So even if you have like a small win in any implementation, celebrate that and just showcase your value in doing that. And then identify and empower technology champions within project teams. Some people are more into tech and more into implementation of technology. So yeah, identify that and then encourage them to do more. And communicate clear visions of how technology enhances rather than replaces human roles. So remember, AI will not replace project managers, but project managers who are not using AI will be replaced. So just remember that. So this is the human factor that we talk about when it's coming to AI. So quickly, let's talk about practical implementation strategies. So here, I can show you this small chart. Actually, it's a roadmap, not a chart, it's a roadmap. So start small, scale fast. So begin with pilot projects, as we say, that have clear success criteria and limited scope. Focus on integration, avoid creating technology silos. So you need to integrate in all the systems that you have in your organization. Invest in change management. Allocate at least 30% of your technology budget to change management activities, including training, communication, and support. Measure and iterate. So establish baseline metrics before implementation and track progress accordingly. So be prepared also to adjust your approach based on what you learn. Then build internal capabilities. While external expertise is valuable, also build internal capabilities to sustain and evolve your technology solutions. And this includes technical skills and change management capabilities. So I'm sure my understanding, Dr. Zade, that you're sharing these slides with the audience. So please use this roadmap for your reference in the future. All right, so the key takeaways today. Technology as an enabler. Emerging technologies are most effective when implemented as enablers of human expertise. The people-centered approach. Successful digital transformation requires equal focus on people, process, and technology. Don't forget your people and your team members. Measurable value creation. So technology implementation must deliver quantifiable benefits. Always remember to show the value and show the benefits of the new system. So what are the next steps? Readiness assessment. Just make sure you're doing the proper assessment before you implement. Identify the opportunities and create an implementation team to start implementing any system that you would like to introduce to your team or your project. So again, this chart can show you the radar chart here, the implementation before and after the digital transformation. And that's again, general study on certain elements of the project. Thank you all for your attention and for being patient with this some boring information. I hope this was beneficial. And please, if you have any questions or comments. So Dr. Zade, I can't see the chat if anybody is writing. So if you can help me with that, so I will be.
Yeah, we have two questions already. First of all, thank you very much for the great presentation. I love the topic. It's very relevant. And we are all dealing with AI transformation directly or indirectly. I had the same question. Galen asked, all these radar chart that you showed, it's based on the research data or from your previous project or experts' estimates?
So the case studies, all the charts that you see with the case studies are relevant to that project only. So that was relevant to the, as I said, for example, the digital maintenance management system, that was, we showed the data before and after. So that's relevant to that project. All the other charts you can see, that's coming from general research that you can find in many case studies, right? So it's not, again, relevant to one project. Some studies, they went through hundreds of projects and they came up with certain statistics on the tools, like before AI and after AI. And so it's a mix in between both.
Excellent. Next question is about leadership style. And let's ask, thank you very much, first of all, for the excellent presentation. Given that much of what you have discussed require a change management mindset amongst project managers, do you think the project leader must benefit from a more directive leadership style at the outset? And otherwise, the team members might be slow to accept change. In other words, do they need to be told initially so they will see the advantage you have identified or not? Yeah.
Absolutely. That's a great question. So actually, this is an interesting, very interesting question, because we were talking about this even in this summit here yesterday. And now there is a move between this types of project management where you say directive or assertive or adaptive or whatever into collaborative style now. And yes, people will always resist change. So the directive shouldn't be that as of tomorrow, we will start implementing 1, 2, 3, 4, because that's, yes, it is directive, right? And maybe you push for it because you need it to be done. But you may expect more resistance to that rather than starting gradually. So that's why when I said you start with some pilot projects, start with a small team in some proven case that's already there, and start the implementation from there. And then that team can present to the rest of the team or the rest of the corporation or the organization, wherever you're working on. Like, look, this is what happened with this. Yeah? And we use this tool, we use that tool, and now we're going into. So we as humans, right, we resist change because it disrupts our peace, our routine, and it's again, it's a normal reaction. So how you overcome that is again by showing benefits. So the first time that we started using credit cards, and that's what history tells us. I mean, many people resisted. In fact, what do you mean I can use just a plastic piece to just pay something? No, I still believe in cash, and I want to pay like. And even if you pay me with a credit card, like no, I want cash. Today, I mean, just good luck finding any change now, even if you go to 7-Eleven and you want to pay something with cash, and it's so, and we all adapt to that, right? So that's what I'm saying. I mean, yes, it's gradually, because the system, proves its efficiency and its successful implementation, and then you can implement it. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. So we are on time, but I have a very important question that I should ask. That is about resistance. So something that I have seen, it's fear of losing jobs. And even though you said project managers are not replaced by digital transformation, I mean specifically AI, I sort of disagree with this, because in general, yes, PMs are not replaced, but in terms of numbers, I should say yes, because in a typical project that we needed 5 PMs, now with AI, we might need just 2, especially when it goes to coordinators, to assistants, the impact is way more. So what are your suggestions to organizations to when they go through AI transformation that we're dealing with, to bear in mind that they use these resources somewhere else? We say, we will put them in another position that is more AI related. So do you think that is also necessary to get buy-ins from all the stakeholders that you mentioned?
Yeah, thank you for the question. And yes, that's a right statistics that you mentioned, by having 5 project managers before and having 2 later. But guess what? The other three, now they're working on different projects with different skill sets. So that's so now the number. So I like to use historical example, because when machines was introduced to factories in the United States in the early 20s, many people actually feared that their job, because now instead of 100 workers in a factory, the machine needed only 20. So at that point of time, yes, at that very point, yes, there was probably 80% of people who went unemployed. But when they started to learn new skills, because now the economy needs are different, so they're not the traditional anymore. So traditional project managers are not needed anymore. So now that's why you have new skill set, so that will qualify you for a different type of job. You will still be managing projects, but in a different style. Now, the buy-in from stakeholders, of course, that's important, and that's again, you show the benefits of the implementation of the system to your stakeholders, if they are clients or their sponsors or their partners in the organization. You show them the value and the benefits of the implementation of the system, and that's how you get your buy-in. Simply enough, this commercial management system that I mentioned here, we showed our senior management that you are generating 12% extra revenue, which was big, because this 12% did not exist before the implementation of the system. So technically you were losing money right before that. And we got the buy-in right away, because now you're just talking pockets, talking money, and now that's the buy-in. And this is how the corporate world is operating. I hope that answers your question.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Any more questions before wrapping up this session, and we will have the next session starting from 1 p.m.
At 1 p.m. Yes.
Yeah.
And
if not, yeah.
thank you very much, Youssef. This is a wonderful presentation, and I know for many people, AI is a hype of the moment, and many organizations that invested, they haven't seen the return on investment yet, but hopefully they will see it soon. Otherwise, the hype will end very soon. Thank you so much.
I think they've seen it, but they're denying it.
Right. Well, I think Dr. Galen Tallis is here. Dr. Tallis, if we will have your presentations at 1. Anytime you'd like to try to share your screen, that would be to test the system. That's really fantastic. Thank you, Youssef.
Thank you all for the invitation and for having me here. This is my contact information. Please, for anybody, please reach out to me for any question or any comment or feedback, and I'll be happy to get back to you. Thank you again, and looking forward to seeing you in future events.
Thank you again, Youssef. Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
I think I've seen Dr. Tallis in here. Let me look again.
Are you okay, Jacques?
I'm looking for Dr. Tallis. I think she was here, but
yeah, she was here, but she's not now.
Yeah, she was asking questions actually. Maybe she'll be back in a minute. Yeah. Okay. Let me stop recording here.